Colm Holmes. I work for the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, and I'm the Chief Executive. Technology is the way forward. We all know about the knowledge economy, but it's also in the area of supply chain management, and that's why we're here for today, to see how we can improve the technology that's there and improve efficiencies.
What are you taking away from yeah, no problem. What are you taking away from today's seminar?
What I'm taking away from today is that this particular scheme that's offered here, the voice recognition and control in a warehouse, can give you savings of 20 to 25%, and also that you're looking at a payback of 6 months. And a 6 months payback in today's environment is an absolute fantastic investment.
When you started off in this particular business, before you reached your current lofty role, as the man said, could you have foreseen, I mean, I'm only a layman, not into supply chain management, but listening to some of the technology today in terms of how you can integrate data, voice commands, etc. I mean, it's a world away from years ago, isn't it? I mean, what was it like when you started out, and what's your impression today?
Oh, there's huge changes have taken place. I mean, in the old days, you used to bring your goods from the farm into the market. You'd sell them and you'd go back home and you'd have a few quid to spend. Nowadays, supply chains stretch all around the world, and you don't have to be in London or New York to control them. A lot of supply chains are controlled from here in Ireland as well. So you might be actually sourcing raw materials in Africa, bringing them to China for assembly and production, and then bringing them to distribution centres around the world, and then there's the recycling back round again. So there's been huge changes in our industry, and it continues to change.
Would it be fair to say, and we've heard a case study here already today, that really change is something that can strike fear and terror into the minds of a lot of people, and particularly in business terms and corporate terms, it can be a painful process, but the strong message here today really seems that it's, if you avoid change and don't embrace it, it could end up costing you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've all got to keep changing, but it's something that we're all afraid of and afraid to take on and to tackle. I suppose Ireland was once very much a predominantly agricultural country. We didn't go through a big manufacturing phase, but now it's all about services. That's where it is. The knowledge economy, education, training and learning, and that's very much what we as an institute are involved in as well, in continuous professional development and in delivering education courses as well. It's the only way forward for us. We haven't got diamond mines, we haven't got natural resources. It's the intelligence that we can bring to a particular problem. That's what's going to see us through.
How are we going to get our heads around this? I mean, can the Institute help with that? I mean, if I'm a small company or a medium-sized company or a larger company, aware that change has to take place, I mean, where do you start?
Well, I suppose people instinctively start with somewhere like Google, and once you go to Google, there's millions and millions of answers there. That's why we would suggest to people to join the Institute. Now, you can do a course, that's one thing, but one of the main things that our Institute is networking. You get an opportunity to meet other people who are in the supply chain business, who are also in transports and logistics. Now, they might be working for Tesco's, and you might be in a different area altogether, but you'll pick up ideas there from how they do things, how they run their warehouse, how they run their distribution centres, and bring it back to your manufacturing environment or to your office or whatever it is that you're doing, and bring back those ideas, adapt them and use them there. If you network with people, you pick up ideas. So a lot of what we do is we run events, we run visits, we run dinners, we run courses, and people come along for them, and you learn a certain amount from the people there, but you learn a lot from what's happening out behind me here now at the moment. There's the lunch session out there, and there's all sorts of conversations going on there, and people are exchanging ideas and learning from each other.
What it sounds to me you're saying, Colm, is that first of all, you have to be proactive, and second of all, before you leap, maybe it sounds to me like your organisation is providing a huge, I suppose, comfort for people facing that terror, and maybe contact your organisation as a first port of call to help with that change.
Absolutely. If I can give a plug, it's www.cilt.ie is our website address. But we facilitate people to grow and to change, and you do that by speaking to your peers in your industry who can guide you. And very often it's avoiding the pitfalls that others have made. They've tried this, they've tried that, and they say, well, don't go there, don't go there. Here's the way forward for you. And then obviously you have to look into that and explore it and develop it for yourself. But that's the way to do it. Talk to people, network, and you learn.
There was a time when I was small in rural Ireland that you had to go to the big cities to find out what the new things were, or where the new products were, or whatever. Globally, do you think that the internet and the availability of information and awareness of organisations like yours makes it now the case that Ireland really has no excuse not to be having maybe logistics and procedures and supply chain management that wouldn't compete with the best in the world?
Absolutely not. There's no reason why not. I mean, we used to see ourselves very much on the periphery of Europe, but we've seen the American companies coming in here and establishing themselves here. If you're bringing chips, as Intel do, from Ireland to the rest of the world, Ireland is a great place to do that from. The actual logistics and transport of them is not a problem. The fact that we're on the edge of Europe is not a problem to them. You can do that. And we have got the chains, the supply chains are there from Ireland around the world. So yes, people should come here and do their business here.
And do you think that even for a small company that they could implement a technology or a solution maybe with the partners here that could rival maybe some of the best globally?
Yes, but it's horses for courses. The people tonight, this evening, when they were making their presentation, made it quite clear it's not for everybody. You have to go in and look at your systems. What are you doing? Maybe for you, the best thing is just to have 2 operatives there and gathering the orders. If you're running a huge warehouse like Metroplex are here, absolutely, they're getting a 6-month payback on the investment that they're making in them. So it's absolutely right for them. But you've got to keep looking. You've got to keep up to date. You've got to keep looking for what's coming down the rails. 90% of it you'll discard. 95% of it you'll discard. If you get one nugget there, you're ahead.